The Elder Scrolls Online is undeniably an old game at this point. So what is it about ESO that keeps drawing me back? Hey everyone, it's Spopes. I've received some community requests recently asking me to cover my daily routine in ESO. What about the game keeps me coming back after all these years? So in this video, I'm going to cover what I do when I log into ESO, what I like the most about the game overall, and why I'm still playing this 12-year-old MMO. Before we get into the video, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Please like and hype the video. I'd really appreciate it if you took our support a step further by becoming a member, pick up some merch, or leaving a donation. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let's get into why I love ESO and why I still play it. So first, I thought it'd be interesting to provide some background on how I started playing ESO in the first place. I was honestly never much of a gamer. I wasn't allowed to play video games as a child, so I'd play at my friends' houses, but never really that much. Later on, I would torrent some games, but my laptop couldn't really handle them. I mainly played Diablo 2, and I did try to play some Morrowind and Oblivion, which really caused my laptop GPU to struggle. But then for Christmas in 2015, I got a PS4, and I basically had no idea what to do with it. I mainly wanted to play Destiny, the original one, but one day I was looking through the PS4 store and I came across ESO. Having always wanted to play the single-player Elder Scrolls games but not really being able to, I thought, why not give it a shot? It was cheap and it looked interesting. So that was the beginning of my ESO journey, way back in 2015. I played the game and I immediately fell in love with it. One of my first memories in ESO is running around in Auradon somewhere near Vocal Guard and seeing some guy up on his horse. At this point, I had no idea even how to get a mount. He was just running past in local voice chat, and it sounded like he was eating a pizza or something, but he called out to me, "Hey, newbie, you need some gear?" And I just kind of followed him around. He made me some training gear. It's funny how that interaction really showed me what an interesting place ESO could be, where especially on console where you have local voice chat, you can just run to random people. You can make friends, hang out with them. This used to be a good low-level farm spot over here with these sea vipers. So yeah, this guy was just lurking around here and decided to help me out. I played ESO and a couple other games like Destiny until around 2017, when life intervened and I wasn't able to game anymore. I ended up dropping gaming entirely for a few years, until in 2021, I learned about something called Google Stadia. This is a now defunct game streaming service, and one of the titles it included was The Elder Scrolls Online. I'd never really gotten that deeply into ESO. I mainly liked just wandering around and exploring the world, but this got me back into it big time. Google Stadia didn't have the best quality graphics, but it was good enough for me. I ended up dropping hundreds of dollars in the game, which ironically was all refunded when Google Stadia went under. So I still have a bunch of stuff in my PC account that I got entirely for free in the end. And then I got my PS5 in 2023, and the rest is history. I actually originally got my PS5 because I wanted to play Diablo 4 when it came out. I think I got my PS5 in like February of 2023, and then I started playing Diablo 4. And someone I met told me I was really good at explaining things, I should try making YouTube videos. And I just thought, well, why not? Since I was already a content writer, writing blogs, product pages, etc., I was pretty good at explaining things, and content came to me a bit easier than if I was a total newbie. So I started by making Diablo 4 content and only came back to ESO after I became dissatisfied with that game. I've only been consistently making ESO content for about a year now. I must be doing something right because I've quickly become quite popular. So that's where I came from, how I started playing ESO, my background as a gamer and a content creator. Now let's get into the things I do in ESO on a daily basis. Probably the first thing I do now that I'm running a guild when I log in is I check on my guild notifications. Looks like I have some people who want to join. So welcome to the guild, Dolphin Space and Cool Hand Cobweb. I also definitely check my mail. Sometimes people have sent me messages, but generally I just pick up my hireling mails to get my daily mats. I sometimes do my daily crafting writs, and my favorite location is Alinor. I especially do this if I'm low on gold. It's also just kind of a fun routine that's baked into my DNA at this point. For those who don't know, daily crafting writs net you about 5,000 gold per day per character. It's a really easy way to make gold. Also, when I feel like it, I will train my mounts at the Stable Master on any characters I haven't already maxed out. This is something I really should do every day, but sometimes I'm honestly too lazy. There we go. I did my good deed for the day, for myself. Then I definitely also check out the Crown Store every day for any new items. Most of the things that I want, I already have at this point, and I already know what's coming because I do a Crown Store showcase video every month. But I still just have this daily habit of going to the Crown Store anyway, just in case there's something I've missed. I will also sometimes do my daily normal dungeon and my daily Battlegrounds match, but really only when I feel like it. And of course, almost every day I'm here making and planning videos. That's probably honestly what I spend the most time doing in ESO these days, is creating content, which makes me a bit different from the average player, but that's my story. Now that's by no means everything I do in ESO on a daily basis. Those are just the things that I do almost every day. Over the rest of the video, we'll cover the things that keep me coming back year after year, the aspects of the game that keep me engaged and interested, why I still love this 12-year-old game. I know I may be a bit unusual because of this, but the main thing that keeps me engaged in ESO after all these years is just the aesthetics of the game. I love how deep and comprehensive the character customization is. I have spent hours and hours just hunting down cosmetics, trying to craft that perfect look. No matter how many games I play, I always come back to ESO because there's something special about the overall design aesthetic, also the engine, that allows for a completely unique look. For instance, shiny surfaces just somehow look shinier in ESO. I've never come across another game where there's this degree of sheen on metallic surfaces. Partially it's the dyes I've chosen, but it's also just an inherent property of the game itself. I love spending time changing around my character's drip at the outfit station, trying to find that absolutely peak look. I also spend plenty of time hunting down and unlocking dyes. I'm often disappointed by the results, but it's worth the chase. Plus, I frequently come across style pages I don't have but want to get, which ends up being one of the main ways that I use up my gold in the game. So really, for me, more than anything, it's the way ESO looks that keeps me coming back year after year. I'll go and play other games for long periods of time, but there always ends up being something about ESO that draws me back. It just looks like no other game I've ever played, no other MMO even comes close. And really, just no other game I've played has this degree of aesthetic beauty. It's the most beautiful game I've ever played, and that's the main reason I love it. Kind of tying in with that is the fact that I just love the paid cosmetics in ESO, especially the fact that if you play your cards right, you can get even the paid drip in the game entirely for free. You can use seals to get everything in the crown crates. I'm not recommending or condoning this practice. You also can technically trade gold for crowns to buy anything else in the crown store with earnable currency as well. I'm really not trying to be a crown store shill or whale here. I just have to be honest that it is the optional paid cosmetics in the game that keep me engaged. I'm even a bit of a sucker for the FOMO system where things come in and out of the shop all the time, so there's always something new. When I get really bored with the game, I actually am the most interested in just seeing what's in the crown store today. Sometimes I'll log in just to check that and then log back out. After you've done basically everything else in the game, sometimes it's the things in it that you can buy that keep you the most engaged. I honestly don't really spend that much in the game, maybe a few $100s a year. And I do want to point out that some of the best cosmetics are things you can earn just through in-game activities, or buying them from guild traders, like my Molag Kina mask here. But yeah, because of my love of the game's aesthetics overall, it should come as no surprise that I'm a bit of a crown store stan. That does not mean I am influencing you to go spend all your money on the crown store. Do keep in mind there are ways you can get literally everything in the crown store for free. But this cash shop marketplace does inject a lot of value into the game, especially for players who are more aesthetically focused like me. Now, that's not to say that aesthetics are literally all that's important to me in ESO. I wouldn't say I'm all style and no substance. I do also do my best to learn and get better at the game. Almost every day, I'm in here testing and theory crafting builds. Not that they're the most meta, OP, best in slot builds ever, but learning how to get stronger and testing my might in ESO is another thing that draws me back into the game year after year. I like seeing just how quickly I can take down trash mobs and world bosses, for instance. I like testing my power against new features like the night market, and checking out changes to the meta like the new and improved Dragon Knights. One thing I've found to be true is that even after 12 years, there's always more to learn in ESO. The meta is always shifting, new sets, new mythics are being introduced, all the classes are currently in the process of being reworked, class mastery is coming out, the werewolf rework is coming out. ESO is a dynamically changing and evolving game. With play to learn, even as a veteran player, you can always get stronger or better, and your progress sticks with you, unlike seasonal games. There's something remarkably cozy about power progression in ESO. It's something really rewarding. Especially recently, I've been really focused on getting stronger, being able to tackle the hardest content in the game. Even though I'll probably never be a sweaty hardcore player, that is still one of the most fun aspects of ESO for me, is getting stronger and testing my might. I also just love the sense of community connection in ESO. It can be simple, passive stuff, like just rolling up to a way shrine and watching everyone run around, realizing that there's a person behind every avatar, wondering who they are, what they look like, what their lives are like, just appreciating the human, dynamic, evolving aspect of the game, checking out everyone's drip. Like this guy, is that your favorite polymorph? That's a nice kind of dark rogue looking style back there too. Even on a passive level, the sense of community in the game is amazing. But also as a guild master and content creator, I definitely take a more active approach to the community as well. I like to check in with my guildies almost every day. I'll send a quick message right now. And this brings to mind another thing that happens all the time. This person just messaged me saying great videos on YouTube. Not trying to sound famous or anything, but that literally happens all the time. I can't really go anywhere in the game without people messaging me and saying hi, which definitely stokes my ego a little bit, but it's also just a great way to meet people. It's another layer of the community in the game that I really enjoy. I also like checking in zone chat to see if anyone needs any help. I really do enjoy helping random people, like people asking for materials. They need like 5 of them. I'll just send them like 100 just for fun. Sometimes I'll see people wandering around who have no idea what they're doing. New players, I'll just chase them down, trade with them, give them like 50k gold. Stuff like that is really fun. It adds to the enjoyment of the community in the game. One of the best parts of ESO being an MMO overall. Another thing I do as a guild master is I take some time every few days to manage the guild bank, add anything into it I don't need, see if there's anything I want that other people have deposited, make sure people in the guild know that the guild bank is there for them. So yeah, overall, the sense of community connection is one of the best things about ESO in my opinion. It's a true MMO in that sense. You can have passive community interactions by checking out people's drip. You can help out other players. You can have a guild, hang out with guildmates and friends. I love how easy and natural it is to feel like you're part of a community in ESO. It's definitely one of the things that keeps you coming back year after year. I also just love immersing myself in the world and lore of ESO. Whether it's just going and listening to a bard for a while, literally just wandering around randomly and looking at the environment, or doing side quests and picking up lore books. The other day, for instance, I was just randomly hanging out in Grotwood. I think I was making a thumbnail, and I came across this random high elf manor that I didn't remember at all. I was curious, so I went ahead and did the quest. Basically, this lady has been trapped in a Daedric ruin by Molag Bal, and you help her get out. Azura is involved. You go talk to this statue of Azura. You end up learning a lot of lore and having about 30 minutes of random fun. And there is just so much of that in ESO. The world is enormous, and it is filled to the brim with lore books, NPCs, quests, etc. You can literally spend hundreds, if not thousands of hours just wandering around the world of ESO and never run out of things to do and learn and explore. One thing I've realized especially recently is that I've barely scratched the surface of the lore in the game. There is always more to learn when it comes to lore, more lore books to find, etc. There is such an incredible wealth and depth of lore in the Elder Scrolls in general, and so much of it finds a place for its expression in ESO. So yeah, I really do spend probably an embarrassing amount of my game time just wandering around, not really doing anything most of the time. Not even doing quests, just going around and looking at everything, looking at the trees, the sky, all the things on the ground, all the people running around. Maybe this is my autism showing, but it's literally one of my favorite things to do, even in places I fully explored years ago. That's why, for instance, one of the things I'm currently most excited about in ESO is the fact that they're reskinning Glenumbra in U50. I can't wait to go wander around this OG zone, seeing it with completely new eyes, seeing this 2014 piece of video game art taken to 2026 standards. I already love the reskins they did in Canarthy's Roost, Betnik, etc. I honestly sometimes just go to Betnik and wander around in circles, just appreciating how beautiful it is. I guess you could say it doesn't take much to excite me. But again, now that I've done basically everything in the game, sometimes my favorite thing to do is just take a moment and smell the roses. But again, also because I've done basically everything, one of my favorite things about ESO is the fact that it's constantly evolving. I loved trying out the night market when it came out, for instance. I was thoroughly fascinated by the Tamriel tome system when it launched. I love all the new features that have come out recently, including the ability to swim on your mounts. I am always keeping an eye on what's coming next in ESO, all the new features. I'm also always letting you guys know about them. Having a community who wants to know everything new coming to the game is a great incentive for me to know everything as well, to keep an eye on the website, the Discord, etc. Make sure I'm up to date on all the news about ESO so I can properly convey it to my audience. But also, I just personally do get excited by all the new features. That's one of the things that keeps me coming back to ESO year after year, is there are new drops of content every 3 months or so. They're all free now with the new payment model. So without having to pay anything for access, I can just come back to ESO every few months, and there's something new and exciting to check out. On that note, I do feel like ESO is also on the best trajectory it's been on for years. Sure, it's not perfect. There are still problems with development, things I wish were a little bit better. But the degree to which the development team is listening to players, the complete 180 they've taken in terms of how they engage with the player base is very promising. The fact that all new content is free, they've been focusing so extensively this year on player experience improvements, making the game an overall better place to be. This gives me hope that our best days in ESO are still yet to come. The game has an enduringly dedicated player base even with its advanced age. It's hard to get an exact number, but the game has around 50 to 60,000 concurrent players at a time. Don't trust the Steam charts, it only tells you a very small part of the story. It's still a very popular game, and I think in this video I've given you a little bit of an idea of why. But yeah, Microsoft has a real cash cow here. Now that Project Blackbird has been canceled, and some of the most toxic members of leadership have either left or been reshuffled, I think ESO at least has a fighting chance of becoming the #1 MMO on the market. It's not like WoW is doing especially well these days. The #1 MMO currently has taken a turn for the worse, while ESO has taken a turn for the better, especially with crossplay coming next year. The fact that ESO has always been available on console, it has a lot going for it, but those diamonds have been left unpolished by bad leadership for years. With new leadership in place and a new team ethos, I think ESO really has a chance to shine over the rest of 2026 and on into 2027 and 28. So that's my story, guys. I ended up covering a lot of ground here. How I started playing ESO, what I do every day, my favorite parts of the game. I wanted to give you guys as comprehensive as possible an overview of why I still play ESO in 2026, why I'd still consider it to be my favorite game, except maybe Fortnite. And that's mainly because I play with friends and family. But ESO is my special game. I love it after all these years. And I actually do think it's still just getting better. That ESO may reach its true peak in its 20th or 25th year. ESO is still going strong. I think it's going to go even stronger from here on out. And I'll be here to report on it, share my gameplay and thoughts every step of the way. So in the comments, I want to know why you still play ESO. You might be a new player. You might not play at all. If so, I do want to know if this video encouraged you or convinced you to give it a shot, or to stick with it if you just started playing. I hope I showed that after a decade of playing the game, there's still a lot to enjoy and love. For me at least, ESO really just doesn't get old. I don't play it religiously, I'm not a hardcore player, but it is an important part of my life that I definitely cherish. So do let me know your thoughts on the video and on ESO in the comments below. As always, I'm going to take a moment at the end of the video to dedicate this video to my Savior and to profess my love and adoration for Jesus Christ. Lord, thank you for ESO. Making this video has made me realize what an important part of my life the game truly is. Thank you for making it such a great game over all these years, for all the people who play it, all the people who make it. Lord, please do continue to make ESO a great game for years and years to come. And Lord, I thank you for my community. They're a huge driving force behind my love for the game. Please bless everyone in my community. Give them great experiences in ESO and the real world. Lord, I give you all glory for my channel and for the video today. Please bless all souls, the living and the dead. Lord, in your mercy, hear our prayer. Thanks for sticking with me till the end, guys. Please remember to support the channel by liking and hyping. You can take your support a step further by becoming a member, pick out some merch, or leaving a donation. And if nothing else, please remember to subscribe. And when you do subscribe, turn on notifications, because I'll be back soon with new content.